इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत हैं पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to each and everyone, those who have joined us today for our Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series. We warmly welcome because we are launching the big brand for all of you. This is a 45-minute session where first we talk about the business offering from the desk of the leadership team of the brand. Then we'll move towards a panel discussion. During panel discussion, we would love to take all your queries. We have created a question and answer box. You can share your query in the same. The particular webinar is hosted by the management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am, both leading the team of the consultant who are helping day in, day out all the investors in getting the maximum business solutions from our side. And the business opportunity which we are launching today comes from the land of North India, Delhi, Koolchas. It's Delhi-based Koolcha brand founded by mother and son duo. And today they are talking about how they started their journey and what kind of the vision they carries. Incorporated in 2018, Koolchas is the country's and even worldwide the first brand to bring Koolchas to the organized F&B industry. And we have invited Mr. Gaurav to share his journey as well as his business proposal with all of us. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for sparing time today, launching your brand through our platform. Over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Archana. It was such a pleasure. And, thank you so much for the brief that, we are the countries and even worldwide the first ones to ever bring Koolcha to the organized F&B industry. It's been... Vikas, you'll have to mute. Okay. And, it's a brand which has now been covered by, platforms like Early Tales, like Your Story, and many such, media platforms. We now are running into completion of our 4th year of operations. We'll be starting 5th year in few months now. And I would like to take you through a presentation which would make you finally believe that kulcha khao, baki sab bhul jao. So shall I share a presentation, Archana?
Yes, thank you so much, Gaurav. Really inspiration from your side. Kulcha khao, baki sab bhul jao. We really want to start with the presentation from your side.
So I hope you are able to see the presentation there.
Yeah, if we can just go for full screen by Control L.
Yeah, 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, I guess difficult to do full screen here. second. So command, no. So I guess difficult to do the full screen.
No worries. We can continue, Gaurav.
Yeah, okay. So that's our company profile and vision presentation. We were looking at doing something in the F&B space. I remember about 6+ years back when we started working on a few food and beverage concepts. I remember coming from a creative background. There was only one thing which was very important that I discussed with team, that we would not copy, so we were not inclined to do any product which was already there in the market. And certainly we would have done something which was already there in the market, we would have done it very differently. And hence we were looking at कि क्या आइडिया होगा वो जो आज तक किसी ने ना देखा ना कुछ किया, और कुछ दिन इसी तरीके से बीत रहे थे. And I think few weeks passed by and we were hunting for an idea. And एक लड़का एक दिन ऑफिस में कुलचे खा रहा था and we said के कुलचे करेंगे. So immediately that we said कुलचे करेंगे, it kind of went into our mind कि कितने लोग कुलचों को रोज खाते हैं, enjoy करते हैं, और ये एक ऐसी डिश है जो कि अब रोड साइड के ऊपर लोग खाना थोड़ा सा अवॉइड करने लग गए and people would want कि एक हाइजीनिक ऑप्शन भी हो. And hence we developed our company profile with a clear statement that we would build a QSR chain. QSR is quick service restaurant chain, and we would work on a franchise model. And our hero, which is our mascot, the name itself reveals that we work on kulcha. So we've given a little twist and we say it cool, so cool, Koolchas. We've tried to make it really hip and funky. We also offer other scrumptious food items which are again innovative in character. These are not copied side dishes as well, and even dessert. In fact, we do chocolate kulcha as well in dessert. In side dishes, we do something like a vada kulcha. We do side dish like chana kachori. These are unheard dishes and we've developed them on our own. Finally, we gave a vision and a mission statement to ourselves, and we said we would be among the leading names in the QSR segment and one day become the highest ranked quick service restaurant chain in the Indian traditional food, and made a mission to exceed customer expectation by providing cutting edge perfection. Perfection से मतलब ये है कि आपको हर बार सेम कुलचा मिलेगा, ये नहीं कि इस बार मेरे लिए ज्यादा जला हुआ था और इस बार मेरे लिए कम पका हुआ था. And we would keep innovating, and hence all our dishes are innovations of our own. And services in every aspect of the hospitality sector, we are very, very sensitive to understanding the nuances. Basically hospitality sector में जिस तरीके की importance दी जाती है customer को और consumer को, उससे हम बिल्कुल ध्यान रखते हैं. And here comes our mascot, जिसको कि हमने एक कुलचे वाले को redefine करने की कोशिश की है, उसको modern, hip, funky बनाने की कोशिश की है, उसको एक हेयर कट इस तरीके का दिया है जिसमें एक स्पंक है. इंडियन है इन एवरी सेंस बिकॉज ऑफ द नमस्ते. और हमारे आउटलेट पे सेल्फीज होती हैं तो इसके अराउंड ही होती हैं. इट्स अ बिग कैच इन सोशल मीडिया एज वेल. Certainly it is loved by all, and we love them day in day out. What makes us special, we created that important 5 pillars हम कहते हैं उनको, कि जिसके ऊपर हम फोकस रखेंगे, and it is helping our brand today with our 5th year of operation starting very soon. Happiness is the first important pillar that we created for ourselves. Happiness not only for the customer but even for the internal team. And hence हमारे ऑफिस में या आउटलेट में मुझे ये कई बार सुनने को मिलता है कि सर ऐसी चीजें कहीं पे भी नहीं होती. So things like these we are trying to develop for the team inside as well. And certainly everybody thinks about customer and we also think about it. Next we kept is quality. Very, very critical to us. We say कि we are mad about quality. मैंने ऐसा भी सुना है कईयों से at our outlet के सर ऐसा तो 5-star होटल में भी नहीं हो रहा. so we say that हम लोग बिल्कुल पागल हैं क्वालिटी को लेके. In fact, हमारे एक ऑडिट हुआ था which was an external audit, and we had scored a 98.53% from Equinox Labs. It is country's most reputed lab. And किसी को मैं अगर बताता हूँ फूड एंड F&B इंडस्ट्री से कि हमने 98.53% स्कोर किया है, तो वो सामने वाले की आंखों में दिखता है मुझे कि वो बिलीव नहीं कर रहा है, और कईयों को मुझे एक्चुअली सर्टिफिकेट दिखाना पड़ा. थर्ड पिलर वी केप्ट एज प्रोसेसेस, ताकि आपको हर बार वही सेम एक्सपीरियंस हो, वही सेम कुलचा हो, वही सेम डिश हो. And hence everything was process oriented. It took us over 2 years to develop these processes because आज तक किसी ने कुलचे को standardize नहीं किया था. Then we were very very innovative. In fact हमने product भी ऐसा चुना जिससे कि हमारी innovative spirit आपको थोड़ा सा idea लग रहा है. And hence our innovation reflects not only in the product that we chose, the kind of dishes that we do, the kind of kulchas that we do. So हमारे यहाँ पे कुलचा ना ही आपको सिर्फ हर जगह आपको मैदे में कुलचा मिलता है. हमारे यहाँ पे होल व्हीट, मल्टीग्रेन, एक मसाला डो है. सो आप अपना डो चूज कर सकते हैं, आप अपनी फिलिंग चूज कर सकते हैं, आप इनफैक्ट अपनी डिश भी चूज कर सकते हैं. सो डिश में छोले की एक ऑप्शन तो है ही है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट देयर आर न्यूट्री, देयर इज पनीर, and very soon I think we'll be adding one more dish to it. So you can pick your dough, pick your filling, pick your kulcha and make your own dish and enjoy it. Finally, the fifth pillar, a lot of people keep this pillar पहला pillar, लेकिन हमने कहा कि पहले जो processes हैं, quality है, happiness है, innovation है, उसको set करते हैं, और फिर branding, marketing, sales easily होगा सारी team के लिए. And hence हमारा fifth pillar, as everybody's pillar is branding, sales and marketing, ours is as well the same. And hence we have tried to build the brand around the most followed practices for building a brand. Just for those जिनको थोड़ा सा idea QSR segment के बारे में लेना हो, this is the biggest segment of F&B industry, and it is a whopping 44%. So this was our first presentation. I would stop the share here and I'll take you through the second presentation, which is our food images and outlet images. I hope you are able to see the second presentation. Yeah, Archana, are you there?
Hanji, Korachi, visible. You can.
Okay, thank you. So this presentation is about our food images and outlets. Ours is a purely vegetarian restaurant, and this is an important character. It works very well. The first image of the food is the Amritsari Koolcha with chana Punjabi. So this particular Koolcha that we do in various other dough options, as I just told you, which is multigrain, whole wheat, masala dough, apart from the regular maida dough that everybody does. So we also do the tawa kulcha. Some people call it bread kulcha, the roadside kulcha, the ever famous. So इसमें भी हमने हल्का सा twist डालने की कोशिश की है. हम आपको एक मसाला धनिया जो कि एक मैदा में बनता है, वो जो हर जगह रोड साइड पे मिलता है, वो तो देते ही हैं. उसके साथ में एक होल व्हीट ऑप्शन भी देते हैं. सो यहाँ पे भी आप अपना जो कि स्टैंडर्ड एक मटरा मिलता है आपको रोड साइड, हमारे यहाँ पे मटरा, छोले, पनीर या न्यूट्री की भी ऑप्शंस है. न्यूट्री कुलचा इज आल्सो वेरी फेमस, एंड हेंस ये ऑप्शंस उसी तरीके से डेवलप की गई हैं. Then these are our innovative dishes. वड़ा कुलचा, सो बेसिकली आपको मुंबई की याद कराएगा. वड़ा पाव है बिल्कुल कैरेक्टर में और फ्लेवर में. पाव की जगह हमने कुलचा कर दिया, एंड इट इज वन ऑफ आवर हॉट सेलिंग. मटरा कचौरी is another, and chana kachori is another hot selling for us. I don't know if anybody has heard about ever, because chana kachori हमने खुद से डेवलप की है, inspired by मटरा कचौरी, जो कि शायद इंडिया में 2-4 जगह ही सुनने में मिलती है. So उसको हमने इनोवेट किया है, फर्दर डेवलप किया है. And our dessert is not the ice cream or any other dessert. It is a chocolate kulcha. Believe me, you have to taste this and you will always keep some space for the dessert at our outlet. It is one of the amazing desserts that one would ever have. Kids also love this like crazy. Then we have some beverages which are pretty standard in nature and character, which is lassi, which is sweet, masala chai, shikanji, and masala chaat. So basically, you do the complete meal. You pick your dish, you pick your kulcha, and you pick your beverage. So the second aspect is about outlet locations. We are present at 4 locations in Delhi NCR right now. And if you look at this image in particular, ये हमारे different outlets की image है. But अगर आप एक नजर में देखें तो आपको लगेगा जैसे कि एक ही outlet की image है. Basically, we have tried to develop the character of our brand, and hence it reflects in every image. So बेशक वो टीम की ड्रेस कोड से हो या कलर जो हमने यूज किए हुए हैं अपने आउटलेट्स पे या लोगो का कलर, सो आप हमारे आउटलेट पे आएंगे तो आपको टोटल क्लैरिटी आएगी कि ये आप कुलचास के ही आउटलेट में हैं. These are few trademarks for any brand to protect the brand, and its character. We've done these trademarks of our name, of our punchline, of our smiley. Okay, so smiley is like a signature brand. One day we would like to hold it high, and then we have our mascot as well, and I think it's pretty well done. So yeah, so this was our second presentation. I would now take you through the Excel file, which would talk about the maths or the profitability aspect of our brand. Just give me a second on that. So I hope you are able to see that, Archana.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So it's pretty simple to understand. It is our first model. Practically, we've divided our the outlets into 3 categories. One is a food court takeaway model. The other is a small or a large dine-in, and the third one is a highway model. So I'll start with the food court model, which entails an investment of 12.5 lakhs plus a franchisee fee of 5 lakhs. The area required is just about 80 to 100 square feet, and hence is not very heavy on pocket in terms of rent. तो इसमें आपको लोन भी लेना हो तो वो पॉसिबिलिटी हो जाती है. इक्विपमेंट्स में लॉन्ग टर्म लोन मिलता है बिकॉज हमारे इक्विपमेंट्स आर नॉट वेरी लोकली फैब्रिकेटेड. दे आर either the country's best or the worldwide best equipments, and hence you can get long-term loans also. अगर आप मंथली एक्सपेंसेस और प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी और रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट को देखेंगे तो हमने एक अजम्पशन लिया है कि 6 लाख रुपए की अगर महीने की सेल होती है, जो कि एक बहुत बड़ी अजम्पशन नहीं है. तो आफ्टर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ ऑल एक्सपेंसेस विच इज रेंट, मेंटेनेंस, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, EMI for equipment, salaries, food, consumables, software, promotional activities, discounts, delivery charges, and other overheads, and our brand royalty and management. So I would also like to mention here is that ours is a company operated model, and hence franchisee owner को बहुत ही limited time devote करना पड़ता है, and hence he can do whatever he is doing as a full-time activity anywhere, and maybe when he is happy from our first franchise, he can build up the second one without even thinking twice. So with an investment of just 12.5 lakhs, one can get a return of about 76,000 per month, which can give a break even of 73% and break even in a period of 16 months. Or monthly break even in sales is just about 4,10,000, which is less than 14,000 per day. And hence it is very effective in terms of the overall maths या फिर profitability की अगर बात करेंगे. जो हमारा दूसरा मॉडल है, अब मैं उसको एक बार खोल के दिखा देता हूं, which is our small dine-in मॉडल, कि अगर किसी स्पेस पे हमने एक छोटा सा डाइन इन भी साथ में क्रिएट किया है, तो इसमें सिर्फ ये डिफरेंस है कि आपके तकरीबन 2.5 लाख रुपए इंटीरियर्स के बढ़ जाते हैं, बाकी सब कुछ सेम है। एंड यहाँ पे हमने तकरीबन सिर्फ 1 लाख रुपए एक्स्ट्रा सेल्स की एक्सपेक्टेशन की है, और ये भी आपको ब्रेक इवन तकरीबन 16 महीने में दे देता है, और इसका ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट मंथली सेल्स में तकरीबन 4,72,000 रुपए है, which is about 15,500 rupees per month, per day, और return of investment तकरीबन 72.84%. I will now take you through the third model, which is our highway model, and just give me a second. So you are able to see the third model?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a 24/7 operations model, large dine-in area also developed, and is a standalone highway model. Basically, कि वहां पे सिर्फ कुलचास का ही आउटलेट होगा, जैसे आप कुछ ब्रांड्स का देखते भी हैं कई बार ऑन द हाईवे। यहाँ पे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट थोड़ी सी ज्यादा है, तकरीबन 23 lakhs की नेट इन्वेस्टमेंट है आफ्टर टेकिंग लोन ऑफ अबाउट 15 lakhs फॉर इक्विपमेंट्स अगेन। फ्रेंचाइजी फी यहाँ पे सिर्फ 7 लाख रुपीज है, और अगर आप यहाँ पे मंथली एक्सपेंसेस का कैलकुलेशंस देखते हैं, तो हमने अज्यूम किया है तकरीबन 1 लाख रुपए की सेल्स पर डे, टोटल ऑफ अबाउट 30 lakhs, और उसमें अगर हम सारे खर्चे निकाल के एक बार देखें, तो हमारे पास तकरीबन 3 लाख रुपए पर मंथ की अर्निंग का स्कोप है। तकरीबन 7 से 8 महीने में ब्रेक इवन हो जाता है इस मॉडल में, और हमारा जो ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट है सेल्स में पर डे और पर मंथ के बेसिस पे, तो पर डे तकरीबन 70 या 73 हजार रुपए पर डे की सेल्स पे ब्रेक इवन हो जाता है, which is about 22 lakhs per month. Return on investment expectation is pretty huge here. It is upwards of 100%, and we've calculated at 161% here. So with this, I would like to take the house open for any questions that you may have, and I would repeat and take the opportunity to make the statement again. कुलचा खाओ, बाकी सब भूल जाओ.
Thank you so much, Gaurav ji. And I'd like to thank all our friends who have joined in. And friends, I'll request all of you, we'll have the next 15 to 20 minutes where we like to take any questions that you have on the business model. And you may also mention if you already have a location or a property anywhere which you would want to look and operate the business on. And also if you can mention your city of interest, that would help us in understanding, and we'll take it up. So use the Q&A, guys. I see some of you also, raising hands during the presentation. We'll not be able to unmute anybody. So any questions that you want to put in the Q&A box, we'll read it out with your name and your location. So just a quick, friends, a recap, and thank you, Gaurav ji, for putting this presentation for all our viewers today, and for all of you friends. And I think Gaurav ji did mention about his background, and he's an architect who turned into a foodpreneur. And he launched this business, with his mother about two years back, and a very not, I would say, a unique category, but yes, they have built a very unique product and a differentiated offering, which makes them stand out, against maybe another competition that you see around. They also use preservative-free homemade masalas, and their clients also can see what is being prepared. I saw some of the videos also of their outlets. And Gaurav ji, if we have a video of the outlet, I would request if we can showcase also to our investors harvesters, and they have live kitchens where even the vegetables are cut in front of the customers. And like Gaurav mentioned, they're very finicky, particular about quality and hygiene. And this is also one area where, Gaurav mother looks at all quality checkup aspect. So overall, menu is very diversified, including kulchas, which is their main base product, and they also have value addition, which they have done in the entire range of kulchas, including sandwich kulcha, pizza kulcha, and I heard chocolate, which is their sweet recipe for I think that's what we have. There's a sweet recipe that they have. So I would say they have done very impressive, menu engineering. Their first outlet came about 2018, about 4 years back. And Gurgaon, I saw the launch also of the outlet. And soon when they had launched, they even added Delhi NCR subsequently, and almost 10,000 customers they had in the very first year of their operations. And on an average, they were adding about 500 to 700 customers every month, which I would say is a very big, achievement for a brand that has opened her doors. And even if you look at today, a lot of companies would not be able to have that kind of a customer base and growing, month on month. They've also been covered by many food bloggers, and their food is something which goes across every age group. Chota bachcha se leke badi age tak sab khate hain. And I was reading, his daughter is very fond of one of their products, she's quite young. She's less than 10, I guess, and she's been fond of a lot of menu at the outlet. So very vibrant interiors and very inviting also for the end consumers. And they have been running successful prototype for all these, for some time now. And since it makes a good financial sense, now they're looking at partners who can partner with them to expand the business. And like Gaurav mentioned, they're very sensitive in terms of last mile experience and delivery to the end consumer. And hence the entire operations is something which is controlled by the company. Overall, 3 formats that we're looking at, where I would say, food court or a takeaway, dine-in, these are 2 formats which are very, very scalable. And highway would be locations which are primarily, destination where people can stop by. And this would have a bigger format where the investment goes up to about 38 odd lakhs. So the investment starting from about 12 odd lakhs goes up to about 38 lakhs for a bigger format. So just to start off with, Gaurav, my first, question to you would be, you were never into food business, but I understand you have been a foodie, and I've not seen any, entrepreneurs or business owners, starting a business with their mothers. So what prompted you to start the business with the mother? And I would say, any business which has a blessing of a mother, it ought to be successful. And I can see that happening with you. Over to you.
Absolutely, Sonia. That's true. And, her passion drew this, I'll tell you how it all happened when we started working on the F&B concept. And since, in our entire family, mom is known for her dishes. In fact, my cousins who would be visiting from England or some other places, they would call in advance ke, okay, chachi, ye mujhe khana hai aur ye aap please mujhe khilaiyega jab main aa rahi hu ya aa raha hu, so I just mentioned at home ke mom, since we are starting with something like food, so agar aapka interest hai to aap bhi aa jao. It just started like a casual offer or a discussion. You would not believe, next day she came, and she slowly, in about 2, 3, 4 weeks, she took over the entire kitchen or the recipe part or the food part. And it was such a breather for me, I can't even tell you. And I was just observing, okay, from just a general discussion that, okay, you could be a little involved. Now she manages all the recipes, she manages all the ingredient management, so all our masalas are not the branded masalas from the market, which could be at times be adulterated. So they are grounded and blended by her herself, so that's the beauty of it. And our food, how much ever you may have it, it would never be heavy on your stomach. Even if you, agar aapko lage ki ji mera pet to pura bhar gaya, ab to main shayad dinner bhi nahi karunga, and it will settle in about an hour or so, because there is nothing that we are using. It's almost like home food. It's just that it is being produced in a bigger scale, but the spirit is like that. And hence, a lot of my friends, those who don't eat out, eat at our outlets. I still remember a friend of ours who was carrying, and she said, okay, main kahin nahi bahar khane ja rahi hu because I'm carrying, and I'm just coming to your outlet because I know how you are running the operation. So that's the character, the way we are building the brand, and it's slightly and slowly, reverberating now in the market, and it gives a good feel whenever internal team talks about it, about your the kind of effort or the kind of importance that is placed to quality of food. It is mind blowing. That's in some bit that I would tell about my mom, and she's loving it. So कई बार तो वो मेरे से पहले निकल जाती हैं ऑफिस, और कई बार मेरे बाद आ रही होती हैं. And I remember when we started the outlet, I said, okay, the team is managing, so you please, look at your, recipe development or improvement or innovation. But as her interest would be, she would get into the kitchen, and then I told her, okay, you need to get so we have a food and quality system in place where everybody needs to get their tests done before they get into the kitchen. So I told, okay, then you should get your test done. You would not believe, next day she got her test done. I mean, so it's that kind of a passion that she's brought into it, and she's loving it, and so much that we love it, that okay, she's gung-ho about it.
Wonderful, Gaurav. That's very, very inspirational. And at that age when a lot of people don't want to do anything and they want to, lead maybe retired life and relax at home, it's very inspirational to see what your mother is bringing and a lot of support to you overall on the business. Friends, I'm taking your questions. I see some questions already coming in. So second, Koolcha, what I want to also understand, we've talked about three models, from a food court to a dine-in to a bigger format for the highways. And I see the area, size, investment, all that expands. Now, when we're looking at all these three different formats, are we also looking at a differentiated offering or a menu which is expanded for a bigger format? Or are we looking at similar menu? And, what is the prime difference, apart from the investment that we see in the three models?
Sure. So the first and the second model are quite, quite much alike, because उसमें सिर्फ एक ये difference ये है कि food court में you don't have to give the dine-in, because वो dine-in area तो food court operator ने दिया होता है. Whereas एक small dine-in जहाँ पे कि अच्छा footfall है, लेकिन food court जैसा कोई concept नहीं है, तो वहाँ पे आपको standalone एक shop या लोकेशन मिल जाती है जहाँ पे कि आप एक छोटा अपना डाइन इन भी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. सो फर्स्ट और सेकंड में सिर्फ 2.5 लाख रुपए की इन्वेस्टमेंट का डिफरेंस है, और रिटर्न में कोई खास डिफरेंस नहीं है. दे आर प्रीटी मच सिमिलर. द बिगर डिफरेंस इज इन आवर स्टैंड अलोन हाईवे मॉडल, जिसमें कि वो हमारा ब्रांड ही होगा उस लोकेशन पे, एंड हेंस उसकी इन्वेस्टमेंट थोड़ी सी बढ़ जाती है. प्लस क्योंकि वो 24/7 का मॉडल है, प्लस उसमें सेल्स एक्सपेक्टेशन हाई रहेंगी, बिकॉज हाईवे के ऊपर हो आप, एंड the expectation of the footfall is amazing, and hence equipment की expense भी थोड़ी सी ज्यादा है, लेकिन उसकी फिर sales expectation भी amazing है. तो यहाँ पे जो कि वहां पे कि 16 महीने या 17 महीने में आपका break even होता है, यहाँ पे one can expect के 6, 7, 8 महीने में भी break even हो सकता है. So that's the bigger difference between a dine-in and the other two models. And as far as the product offering is concerned, जो highway model है उसमें हम बहुत ही लिमिटेड 2-4 चीजें बढ़ाएंगे, but it would be primarily the same. Our existing product offering has been developed or created in a very, very thoughtful manner, ताकि एक अच्छे लेवल तक की ऑप्शंस भी हों कस्टमर के लिए, और वो कंफ्यूज भी ना हो. सो ये ना हो कि वो आया यहाँ पे और 15 मिनट के लिए सोच रहा है कि मैं क्या ऑर्डर करूं. सो मेन्यू इंजीनियरिंग हैज बीन डन over the last 6 years now. Okay, so ever since we started developing the concept, as I told you कि हमें 2 साल तो लग गए थे सारा कुछ स्टैंडर्डाइज करने में और वो सब कुछ, बिकॉज किसी ने भी आज तक किया नहीं था. एंड हेंस जिस तरीके के कुलचे हमारे यहाँ मिलते हैं आपको कहीं पे भी नहीं मिलेंगे, बिकॉज कोई भी वो प्रोसेस उस तरीके से प्रोसेस ड्रिवन तरीके से कर भी नहीं रहा. And accordingly the menu has been engineered. We also on board now have very senior consultants, hospitality consultants, and 3 of them each having experience of over 25 years, so that is helping us also now to take the brand further up. और मेन्यू इंजीनियरिंग अब हमारे यहाँ पे एक 6 महीने का प्रोसेस है. अगर आज मैं सोचता हूँ कि इसमें कुछ एक चेंज करना है और टीम एक्सेप्ट करती है, इट्स नॉट माय ओनली डिसीजन, it's the consultants and the team which is together deciding कि okay, menu needs to be added or edited or deleted an item. I have seen now it will take 4 to 6 months minimum for any product item to be added or deleted. It is not going to happen ke Gaurav मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है तो ये एक चीज add कर देते हैं. It is no more happening. It's operating like a structured phenomena now. And believe you me, even after a decision which is taken, there are feedbacks from customers which are taken after the recipe is developed. So अगर उसमें भी हमने देखा है कि हम कई बार एक चीज को जो हमने एज अ टीम सोचा था कि इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, फाइनली कस्टमर when it says okay go ahead, only then it gets implemented. So it's a long process now for the menu to be re-engineered, and we've been re-engineering it from the last over 6 years now.
Absolutely. But now understand the unit economics and efficiencies for the business. And if I would request, we take example of, what we're currently doing and how does it work in terms of, idle rental, food cost, and how do we actually manage? Because in a business of food, there are two, main costs which are actually defining how successful operations would be. एक तो आपका फूड कॉस्ट होता है, अगर वो फूड कॉस्ट आपका बढ़ जाता है, आपके मार्जिन सारे रूड हो जाते हैं. दूसरा आपका रेंटल्स है ना, बिकॉज फूड में इतने बड़े मार्जिन नहीं होते, थोड़ा रेंटल जाता है ऊपर तो आपके मार्जिन इधर उधर हिलते हैं. सो व्हाट इज योर व्हाट इज द थंब रूल इन आवर केस? हमारा फूड कॉस्ट कितना होता है, क्या परसेंटेज हम रेंटल का लेते हैं, एंड व्हाट इज द स्किल ऑफ द स्टाफ दैट वी नीड? बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड यू हैव अ प्रोप्राइटरी मसाला दैट इज एंड ये असेंबली लाइन स्ट्रक्चर है, इट डज नॉट रिक्वायर एनी स्पेशलाइज्ड स्टाफ, सो एनीबडी कैन बी ट्रेन्ड. सो क्या कॉस्टिंग होती है, क्या हम ट्रेनिंग देते हैं, एंड बॉलपार्क अगर हम समझ सके हमारी structure mathematics on the business, if you can explain that.
I would love to do that. In fact, when I was talking about कि हमने सारे processes को simplify कर दिया है, तो standardize कर दिया है, तो हमने सिर्फ standardize ही नहीं किया, हमने simplify करके standardize किया है. So अगर किसी को ट्रेनिंग देनी है जो कि एक आउटलेट लेवल की ट्रेनिंग है, तो anywhere between 2 to 4 days is enough time for anybody to get trained. इसको हमने इस लेवल तक simplify कर दिया है as far as outlet is concerned, and hence it is very easy for us to scale up now. Or as far as your other question is that the rental part and the area requirement. So when we started about 6 years back, our area requirement was up to about 200 square feet for the kitchen for any outlet. Today it has been brought down to as low as 80 square feet. So our rental has also dropped accordingly. के वहाँ पे हमारे को मिनिमम 200 स्क्वायर फुट चाहिए था, अब सिर्फ उसका 40% चाहिए, which is 80 square feet. So 80 to 100 is what a food court model area requirement is for us. Another USP that we've been able to develop is कि हमारे को कोई भी स्पेस फिट होती है. What I mean to say is कि हमें जो टेक्निकल रिक्वायरमेंट है उसमें हम एक सेंटर ऑफ एट्रियम में भी आ सकते हैं, एंड हेंस वी डोंट रियली नीड के यहाँ पे एक ड्रेन होनी चाहिए, यहाँ पे एक एग्जॉस्ट होना चाहिए.
वेट एरिया नहीं चाहिए हमें. व्हेन वी डू अ स्मॉलर फॉर्मेट वी डोंट नीड अ वेट एरिया.
सो वी नीड अ वेट एरिया, बट हमारी वाटर की रिक्वायरमेंट इतनी लिमिटेड है कि वो एक it can be managed with a little tank also. So and hence area, so the flexibility has been developed in the process in the manner that आपको फुटफॉल अगर अच्छी है तो हम कहीं पे भी, तो वहां पे फिर हमारी रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट रिस्ट्रिक्शन इज वन इज वेट एरिया, द अदर इज एग्जॉस्ट. So today we can in fact work without an exhaust. So the moment you say कि मुझे एग्जॉस्ट नहीं चाहिए, आपका रेंटल वैसे ही आधा रह जाता है, बिकॉज मॉल में जो एग्जॉस्ट पॉसिबिलिटी वाली स्पेसेस होती हैं वो बहुत ही लिमिटेड होती हैं और उनको बहुत ही प्रीमियम पे बेचा जाता है. हमारे केस में आप समझ लो कि जिस किसी को अगर लाख रुपए का रेंटल कोट हो रहा होगा, हमारे को 50,000 ही कोट होगा, और इनफैक्ट हमें को इनवाइट करके वो आउटलेट खुलवाएंगे कि भाई ये तो पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत कम लोगों की बनती है, आपकी बनती है, आप प्लीज ओपन करो. सो हमने वो भी टेक्निकल इंजीनियरिंग भी की है कि आपकी पोजीशन कहीं पे भी हो सके. फुटफॉल है तो वी आर ऑन. ये नहीं है कि फुटफॉल है फिर हमारी ये 6 टेक्निकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, नहीं जी ये तो फेल हो गई. सो नहीं, उस तरीके से नहीं है, एंड हेंस वी इंजीनियर्ड इट इन दैट मैनर, and accordingly rentals have gone down significantly, profitability has gone up, and the menu engineering I told you, it is done in a manner that it is easily manageable and doable.
Sure. And the other question, my third question would also be on how the overall management, because you mentioned that the entire operations is something that you would keep a check and control on. So इसमें franchisee क्या involvement रहेगी, and how is the revenue transparency given to him? आपके क्या roles and responsibilities रहेंगे, and franchise partner के क्या responsibilities रहेंगी?
Absolutely. So ours is a pretty well-defined model here also. So the property management scope is the only scope which is the franchisee scope. Because property usko in a way we help in searching, but he's the one who's searching it off, and anything in the background that is to be dealt with, either the landlord or property managers, there is his scope of work. Rest operations are being managed by us. All the revenue gets into an escrow account, and the food cost and our share of brand royalty and management fee and the GST is taken by us. The entire remaining amount goes to him, and he manages with the rent, salary, and other costs like AMCs or such things. And hence it is kept very, very transparent through an escrow account.
And जो staff होगा, staff is you will also have your staff deployed there at your cost, or
so that would be to the account of the franchisee himself. So he would pay up the salaries, though it will be trained by us and managed by us.
Okay, that's helpful. Because I saw somebody asking what model. So friends, the entire management would be while done by them. But इसमें Koolcha, इसमें franchisee का क्या role रहेगा? Would he be participating in any kind of operations, supervising? So would you want to even clarify that role?
I'll tell you, we have now employed the best of the softwares in the country. In fact, the best software in the country. So every inventory, everything is well managed and structured. So there is very limited involvement as it is for per se the inventory management, which is one of the critical aspects here. And audit is something which the franchisee could do it or would do it as per his convenience. We would send month on month a P&L of the month, and accordingly, if there is any differential with respect to amounts, कई बार discount अगर किसी को ज़्यादा चला गया है, या फिर anything where the costs have gone a little differentiated than assumed, then that gets settled off. But that's a very nominal or a minor thing. Generally, it is through the exact costs defined. These are to be picked up by the franchisee. These are to be picked up by us. The food cost is about 35%. उसमें हम plus minus 2% से ज़्यादा की variation नहीं डालते हैं. It goes into the agreement, and hence everything gets pretty easily, simply, defined and executed.
I'll take a question. Friends, keep writing. I'll take some questions which I feel have not been answered or taken. And there's a question from Mr. Ajit Tapcha, and he wants to know how much time does one need to devote, and what all locations are available currently with us, if any, which can be given to a franchise partner for food courts.
Yeah, so the kind of time that you need to devote is, I would say on average, maybe an hour or two in a week. So not more than that, because this time is only required for any minimal coordination with the property stakeholders. और बाकी operations तो हमको ही run करने हैं, तो उसमें time involvement की जरूरत नहीं है. And end of the month when you get the P&L, उसको आपने check करना है. अगर detail में तो 2 दिन लग जाएंगे, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. पर अगर वो single sheeter you are comfortable with कि okay, मैंने पिछले महीने तो check किया था, almost उतना ही है, तो so then it is a minute's job. So that's how simplified it is. And the locations that we today, okay, so it's a very good question. I like to answer this, and I'm happy to answer in a manner that I'm going to now. कि हमारे पास अब अच्छे developers की queries खुद से आने लग गई हैं, and हम लोग अब premium properties में already outlets खोलने शुरू कर दिए हैं हमने. And since we are the first ones to bring Koolcha to the organized F&B industry, हमारे को एक recognition बड़ा easily मिल जाता है अगर हम कहीं पे approach करते हैं किसी को. But अब तो हमारे को भी approach करने brands, अच्छे developers या country के top developers ने भी approach करना शुरू कर दिया. So that's a good part, and depending upon where Mr. Jha का interest है, उसके हिसाब से we can certainly also propose few property locations. whether it is in North India or even otherwise. So property selection should not be much of a challenge now for us.
And there's a question I see from Mr. Nayak, and this is on the percentage of food waste, because you talked about 35%, that is that taking care of any kind of wastage as well, or there's additional wastage of food that we have to take
So
into?
I'll tell you, nowadays we don't have any wastage, to be honest, in our food production, because the way processes are being managed, they've been well defined with senior food technologists in the country. And say if the shelf life of a particular food product in our case is 3 days, on the back end we try to finish it in a day and a half. So हमारे पास 1.5 दिन का एक और ब्रीदर होता है जो कि आज तक मुझे दिखा नहीं है कि वो ब्रीच हो रहा हो. So food wastage now is, you may keep it as just for the sake of it, maybe 1 or 2%, but it's negligible now. End of the day, agar koi anything which is left over, I don't see it as any significant, but just for the sake of argument, maybe 1 or 2%.
Because आपने mentioned कि you don't need entire setup, exhaust नहीं चाहिए, and not too much of wet area restrictions that we need. So how does the entire supply chain also work? आपकी तरफ से क्या outlet पे आता है? What all is done at the outlet? Would you want to even specify between?
Yeah, so it's more like a a pizza model where every ingredient is supplied from the back end, which is the central kitchen or base kitchen. तो हमारे केस में भी सब कुछ central kitchen या base kitchen से आता है, or including the dough, including the ingredients, including the dishes, in the form which is technically correct to transfer and store it again. So वहाँ पे सिर्फ last mile finishing और reheating, और जैसे पिज्जा के केस में पिज्जा डो को oven में करना या bake करना, so that's the last mile process which happens there, and rest everything is taken care of. So very simplified in that manner. You get everything prepared at the outlet.
Okay. And I have a question from Mr. Deepak Kumar asking, for a smaller format of 100 square feet, what is the kind of manpower which is needed?
So for 100 square feet, maximum that one can accommodate is 3, and in some cases 4 people. So the 100 square feet is also dependent on the location that we are doing. So at times there could be a location which could guarantee a much higher footfall. Then we would say कि okay, यहाँ पे तो 5-6 जनों की requirement हो सकती है on a high footfall situation, and hence वहाँ पे maybe we will extend this by 100 to 120 square feet or maybe 50, but 80 to 100 square feet में 3 to 4 maximum team members could be accommodated.
Right, and because आपको compensate भी करना पड़ेगा weekly off, so overall about 3 to 4 members is what
yeah. So weekly off को अगर compensate करने के perspective से आप पूछ रहे हैं, so then we need 1 more, so 4 to 5 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And all right, I have a question from Mr. Jain, and I'll request friends, all of you, especially in Delhi NCR, whosoever can visit the locations in Gurgaon as well as in Delhi, please let us know and we'll facilitate a visit. You experience the center, experience the product, and I'm sure you get a lot of insights when you go in. And Gaurav ji, इसमें हमारी locations कौन-कौन सी हैं? That was the question I saw from Mr. Jain. Which all locations are we running?
So currently we are, operating our first outlet which we ever opened, which is in Sushant Lok Phase 1, very close to Huda Metro Station. The building's name is Bestech Chambers, very close to Palm Clubs. That is our first location. Then our third location that we are operating now is in Ambience Mall, Gurgaon. So Ambience Mall is but the most premium property of Gurgaon, and one of the most in the entire Delhi NCR. Getting into Ambience in itself is a big landmark achievement for us. Honestly, you don't get space in Ambience very easily. There is if you would talk to them, they would not talk to you on commercials first. They will talk to you on your profile first. So I still remember when I called them up, they said, okay, profile bhej do. So there was no other discussion. Let's review your profile first. So that's how it is. And post that, we've also signed with the country's biggest developer, which is DLF. We are also in discussion with the country's biggest mall developer, which is Phoenix Mills. So, and so on and so forth. So today we are in discussion with the best prominent locations, the best prominent developers, mall managers, mall operators, mall developers. So touchwood, it's all in the initial stages happening, and we are also discussing with few airport operators, few highway operators. So all this is now.
And would airport locations be also available with franchise partners, or that is something?
So that is, as you would know, that is something which is managed by the airport operator, because they have different norms to take care of the operations, and hence it would be difficult to commit on this particular aspect. If there is an option which gets created where we have the option, certainly yes. But, yeah.
And a couple of more questions, friends, and I'll request all of you. We have a discovery day that we are planning on the 6th of April in the coming week. And all of you who want to visit, meet, speak, I'll request all of you to share your details, and we'll set up a call or a meeting. And even before 6th, if you're available and Gauravji is available, we'll try to set up a meeting or a call. And I see response coming from a lot of cities and friends. While I don't have every city mentioned in my Q&A, I see Mr. Naik who's looking for Bangalore HSR layout, and he wants to start there. Mr. Naik, I assume you have a location or a property available. So हमारी locations कौन सी होंगी? Are we looking at locations outside NCR as well? And if we are, what are these locations that we are focusing on?
Yeah, absolutely. So to be honest with you, we've started to get queries for even international locations, and we, initial stages. But yes, we are open to Pan India now. The only criteria that we advise to ourselves and to any franchise partner is footfall, and footfall. Rest, you be rest assured. So operations is our baby. Footfall is something which we together need to address.
Okay. And your locations are great. The one in Gurgaon, it's a good location, and that's one of the prime spots, and a lot of traffic goes from that particular location that we currently are present in. So location, friends, is very, very important. And while we heard Gauravji talk about locations, he's speaking to a lot of developers, and we would also look out for your support in case you're looking at something in your own city as well. And I will take one last question from Mr. Deepak, and maybe overall, what kind of licenses do we need? And they're very simple licenses, friends, and food, yes, that you need. Typical GST aapko chahiye hota hai. He's asking about FSS CI certification. Is that something that a partner needs to procure locally as well?
Yeah, so it's to be taken locally, and it's a very, very simple process now. So as far as licenses are concerned, nothing to worry. We deal with it day in, day out now. In fact, very simply doable.
It's not very difficult, and the cost of all these licenses is also not very big. Her state में थोड़ा बहुत आपका variation होता है, but it's a very small cost, and which also has been taken into account. Now, Gaurav, since we come close to our session, I'll request, and I'll also announce 6th April, friends, once again is a date that we can do a meeting or a discovery day experience at the outlet. So you can block your time at our hotline number and the email ID that we'll put in the chat box. And before we close, I'll also request, Gaurav, if you want to share maybe a message with all our investors who have joined in. कोई भी message जो आप देना चाहते हैं सब लोगों को. We also have an audience which is listening live also on the Facebook. Over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Since we spoke about location, so I would first want to just make a little addition there. Which are the ones which are high on footfall. These are, typically the malls which are doing the best in your location or in your area or city. Second is large office complexes. By large, I mean 1 million square feet and above. Third is high public footfall areas, like bus stands or railway stations or even highways for that matter. These are typically, and even universities. So this is the fourth category, which is large university campuses, college campuses. So these are the locations which blindly we can almost trust on that they would do great. And last one, but not the least, and the biggest statement that I keep making. So I would say once again, take the opportunity to make a statement. Koolcha khao, baki sab bhul jao. So you can take that bit after our now experience in premium properties. When we opened first, certainly, we would not be given an entry into the best property, so somebody like Ambience or DLF would not even talk to us. And now that we've entered there and we compete with the who's who brands of the country and world, now we confidently say, when I make this statement, Koolcha khao, baki sab bhul jao, so that's the confidence with which I would like to make that statement.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, and very inspirational. And friends, I'll request all of you. It's a business which is done, tried, tested, financially doing well. Company takes care of the operations and they have sensitivity attached to it. So if you're looking at, please reach out and we'll get you on one-to-one conversation with Mr. Gaurav and his team. Thank you so much for being with us, Gaurav ji. And before I close, I'll now request Archana to kindly take it over for her closing remarks.
So thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thanks all the dear participants for joining in today. We'll definitely come back to you today itself, where our representative as well as regional team will connect with you. Please also connect with us, call us, SMS us or WhatsApp at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We have shared the same information in the chat box also. Share your suggestion, feedback with us at different social handles. In case you wish to join Gaurav sirs and Sonia ma'am at their LinkedIn IDs, we have shared information on the screen. And tomorrow, under our 12 p.m. webinar, we are inviting you to join us for retail opportunity. Boeing, the brand from Gurgaon, is looking out like-minded partners. And tomorrow, the founder, Neha, would come and talk about this particular business option. This is a FICO model for all of you, where they are providing the minimum guarantee also. So don't miss the chance. Join us tomorrow, sharp 12 p.m. by doing registration. Registration can be done either by joining us at the Facebook page or connect with us at our business hotline number. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Stay safe, eat healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Gaurav ji.